Whitehall is the focal point of the Bigfoot movement here on the East Coast. If you mention Bigfoot to anyone in Whitehall, they're gonna tell you, you gotta talk to Paul Bartholomew.
Paul?
Hi, how are you?
Paul's a born and raised Whitehall local, so he can put us on the latest reports, best witnesses. Paul's a great jumping off point for us.
Well, I said coming up to the Adirondacks, you're the first guy we need to come talk to because you've been following this stuff since the 70s, right?
Right, since I was about 12. There was a major incident here and a lot of reports that had gone unreported back then.
But the original big one was right here on Neighborhood Road, the 3 teenagers.
It was August 24th, 1976, when 3 teenagers were along this road here.
What's that? I don't know. Holy crap, what?
And they actually spotted a creature near that telephone pole. And they sped into town. They left about 60 feet of black rubber in the road, and they reported it to the dispatcher. So the Whitehall police and New York State troopers all responded to the scene eventually. The Whitehall patrolman shone a spotlight, and it caused it to run away screaming. The Whitehall patrolman said it came within 40 feet of his car, and there were other sightings made that night. A lot of them are still anonymous because of the ridicule factor with law enforcement. But it became a landmark case because we had a front page story about Bigfoot and law enforcement. In fact, Eric Miner, who's an excellent artist in this area, did a drawing of the creature. Based on the witness descriptions that were supplied to him, this is the creature that he came up with.
The witnesses ever look at this and say, this is what I saw?
Yep, I believe that's the closest you're gonna get to what the creature looked like.
That is good.
Fantastic.
I can almost see it, man, just like holding it up there.
Isn't it interesting because you could have like 30 civilians all seeing it and it's not gonna make the news, but you've got 3 law enforcement guys and they're confirming, yeah, there was something there, a tall, dark figure.
Well, whenever police get involved in Bigfoot stuff, the credibility usually rises quite a bit. This report is fairly run-of-the-mill. You know, some kids are out partying and they see a Bigfoot on the side of the road. But what makes this report special is that they called the cops afterwards. Now, that's special because those police officers document what they saw, so it becomes part of government record. Once it's part of the official record, Bigfoot has been officially documented in the area.
We've heard of Whitehall having activity back in '82. So there was consistent reports from '76 to '82.
Absolutely. In 1982, there was the Dan Gordon encounter.
I got to talk to Dan Gordon when we were in Vermont. When he told me his story.
My name's Dan Gordon. I'm from Whitehall, New York. 1982, I was a police officer for the village of Whitehall. My partner and I were going towards South Bay, New York. This very large creature stood along the road, looked at us, 1, 2, and it was gone. I pulled off immediately to the side of the road, and I'm standing out there with my .38 revolver, and I'm thinking, what am I gonna do with this thing, with that? I didn't believe what I had seen.
I mean, he was still 30 years old. You could see the emotion. Like, he saw it clear enough where it affected him still to that day.
Dan Gordon was one of the more credible witnesses that we've had, a law enforcement official, outstanding member of the community. And I grew up with Dan, and you know, he was a great guy and honest, one of the most honest people you ever want to meet.
Unfortunately, Dan passed away since we last spoke to him in Vermont, but he lives on through his famous Bigfoot sighting. It's great to be here in Whitehall, New York. This place is historical amongst Bigfooters. If the reports we're getting, it's still going off. So, Paul, we love Bigfoot history, but we're looking for the latest stuff. We're looking for a hot spot, like where we can go out tonight.
Well, I would suggest the Lake George region, maybe the Sabbath Day Point region, because there's been some reports up there currently.
You know, I've heard about that. Sabbath Day Point, there's even a famous drawing by that area called Deer Leap, right along the edge of Lake George. So you're saying that's where real recent stuff has happened?
Yeah, that'd be a good place to start.
Well, then that's where we need to go.
Paul was able to fill us in about all the other incidents that happened in the late 70s within a few miles of here. There was so much going on back then, but it doesn't happen that much right around here anymore. He says now there's a lot of incidents happening over closer to Lake George. Well, that sounds like a good place for us to do our first night investigation here. Wasn't that great to be able to get prepped by Paul Bartholomew, the local expert? You heard it from him himself. There's been a long history around in this whole region.
And we're not very far from our Vermont expedition location. I mean, it's not that far as the crow flies. And we had good luck there. All right, I'm excited, man. We're in the Adirondack.
Absolutely.
Finally.
You know, normally I wouldn't be excited to be going out in winter, but actually the conditions are going to play into our favor. There's a lot of trees here, but they don't have any leaves. We've got snow on the ground and a lot of granite, which is going to be ideal for acoustics. So while Cliff and Matt are going to go down near the marsh area, Bobo and I, we're going to take to the hill. We want to get up to the top there and do some vocalizations, see if we can stir anything up. All right, made it.
This is the top.
We have a waxing moon. It's really bright when the clouds open up.
Well, I guess I'm gonna bounce a call back where we just came from.
Renee for Matt?
It's Matt.
Bobo's gonna do his call in 10.
Copy.
Done.
There's something back there, Matt. Clearly alive.
On the road.
No, not on the road. To the right of the road, uphill.
Oh, it's right there.
But it's right there, whatever it is. Is it a bird in a tree?
It's not very big. We might as well do a howl, though. Good.
Pitch it.
There we go. Where do you think it came from? I'm pinning it over here.
Came from over there. We gotta get to the water. Just as we were starting to think nothing's gonna happen out here, kaboosh! Sounds like a huge rock being thrown into a pond. Well, it isn't very far away, so we gotta go check it out.
Look at this.
Busy as a beaver. You know, beavers change the North American landscape more than any other mammal.
They turn rivers into meadows all the time.
And a Bigfoot would eat it if they could catch one.
Yeah, and look at that. Beaver dam.
You're right.
Almost certainly a beaver then.